If we hit over 1,000 likes, I'm gonna do a Peach Momoko variant. I said it, hold me to it. What's good, comic fam? I am so excited for you to join me today. We're gonna be looking and touching so many comic books. Get your hand sanitizer ready, because I know I got mine. And we're gonna be going down to MillGeekComics to Mill Creek, Washington to visit my local comic shop, Russ's comic shop, to assemble your mystery mail call boxes. Our comic book subscription service where you support the show and we send you comic books every single month. I thought it'd be cool to bring you along to see the process, to say hi to Russ, to say hi to Comic Pops. That's right, I got my family there because we gotta keep social distancing on max and keep it like super safe. And I wanna have my fam there because you know what, I miss them. So you're gonna come with me and you know, you can say hi to the crew. Say hi, Russ.
What's up, Tom? How you doing?
Russ is ordering food for the crew.
Oh my god.
And he made the mistake. You're like, hey, let's just get some Mexican food.
Totally.
Let's just get everybody burritos. And what happened?
Everyone gave me a Post-it note with their special orders on it, and none of these are actual special orders I can get into DoorDash. So back to the drawing board. They're gonna eat burgers.
Russ, talk about something. What do you got over here?
Oh my gosh. Well, we got so many fantastic books that are going out in mail call. Some of them are signed. Here's a Mignola signature there. We got a Ron Randall signature there. Basically what we're doing is we're putting out the high dollar book first. Everyone gets some greased lightning in their box. You're gonna get a 15-cent book, a 12-cent book. You're gonna get something signed. You're gonna get a variant. You will get something valuable. This is every single box. This is part of the process, and we make sure that you're gonna get something that is a very, very cool book in your box.
This one I got at the Comic-Con.
Nice, so it's an exclusive at Con and it's signed by Mignola, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, I waited in line for the Comic Fam to get that one.
So good.
This one too, I had him sign that. This is from the PC.
Third Howard the Duck, second Howard the Duck. I mean, that's a super early book right there. Early Luke Cage Hero for Hire, that's great. I wish the Netflix series was better. That one's signed by Robert Kirkman, and it's a convention exclusive of Murder Falcon. And we know Daniel Warren Johnson was the one that had that Star Wars book that was the out of canon book that made the list.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, Murder Falcon is his story that he's been working on. It's very metal-tastic. I mean, too much metal for one hand. It's ripping awesome. But signed by Robert Kirkman, you know. So that's going out.
Yeah, look out for that signature there.
Right.
Dad, you were freaking out about that one.
Oh, 300?
Oh, yeah, I know. You gotta love Frank Miller, man.
Walking Dead, do you remember when that happened? When that came out?
Oh, I know. None of us were prepared for that. And all of a sudden we got an email and it was like, hey, by the way, you should up your orders for the next Walking Dead and maybe order the second print of the last Walking Dead because something's happening.
It came out the day we were doing assembly.
Right.
And I was going through and I'm like, oh my god, he's dead, dude.
Yep.
He's dead. He's dead. Russ, I think this is over.
Right? So bad. So I had to run back and up my orders.
That's the recall
This
issue.
is the recall.
Yeah, okay. So I'm tied, Russ. Okay, so in this book, there is a derogatory word that hit the press.
Yes.
Like it hit and it was distributed and it's a collectible and it's recalled for that reason, but I have this feeling of like, do I send it out though?
I know. Well, I've owned probably 40 copies of Wolverine 131, and this is the only one I've ever actually seen the recalled variant. You know, normally when you get it, it says the killer named Sabretooth, and someone's autocorrect, or maybe they just typed it wrong, wrote a different word there. I know you can go to recallcomics.com and I'll tell you the whole story, but we never see them, ever. They don't come in, so this is a really cool one, and someone's getting that this month.
And then, of course, Fiona Staples. Goodness.
Yeah, Signed Saga is always good.
Dad, tell the comic fam how I've always been a comic book enthusiast since I was a little kid.
Dude, I used to have to drag you to shows. You would not come, you would not help. I have to beg you, I had to pay you to come and hang out with me at the comic book shows. I'm glad that changed.
Tell them why I didn't like it though as a teenager.
Well, it's all the work, man. It's a lot of hard work, but it helps, and this is what you know now. Once you start loving comic books and start loving the people that we interact with, it just makes it not a job.
But tell them about how many times you made me move long boxes.
Oh my God. I can't even count. How many times. And it wasn't 10 comic book boxes, it wasn't 20 or 30 or 40. We were moving hundreds of boxes every few months. Oh, we gotta take all that.
Tell them where you put them. Tell them about the barn and tell them about the guest house.
We have a barn, we have a guest house, and the main house, 2 stories, all of those spaces. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
And what would happen?
Oh, me and you would just get stuck moving them.
Why would we move them?
I'm not gonna say that your mom made us, but your mom made us. What are you gonna do?
Like every other month.
Every other month. I don't know.
Like we have to move all the boxes from the barn to the guest house.
And I'll be like, yeah, I want a table here. Okay, go ahead and move all those boxes. Tom, we gotta move the comics again.
Dad, what was the first comic you remember reading?
Daredevil. Frank Miller Daredevil, for sure.
Yo, Russ.
What's up, bud?
How long you been in business?
Physical brick and mortar, we are coming up on 8 years, and I started this out of my garage right after my daughter was born, so about 12 years as a business.
That first year of ordering comics, do you remember your most sold comic book? Does any
Star Wars #1, the Marvel Star Wars #1. It was the first book because it was the reboot in 2013 or whatever. Yeah. Okay, it was the first book that I literally had someone come in and go, "I want every variant off the wall." And I mean, I had never seen that before, and I knew there was a Star Wars frenzy, and I'm a massive Star Wars fan, but it was crazy, and people were like, "I'd like the 1 in 10, the 1 in 25, the 1 in 50, the 1 in 100, the party variant, the special variant. Do you have the premiere variant?" Oh yeah, and if it comes out with 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th variants, I want all of those too. Just write it down on my pull list. So yeah, it was crazy. It was the first time I noticed people really freaking out over a book coming in, you know?
It must have been really exciting that first time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Here with Russ Bright of MillGeekComics. Yo, we are 6 feet away. We are safe. But why are we here? Because we have to be here today.
We're here to do mail call assembly because it's the one day a month that we need all hands on deck to put together boxes for you guys.
Dude, while we have you here, I want to know, how have you been surviving? What's been going on? How has the store made its way now? It's been 2 months with the doors closed. Just let us know how you're doing and the good things that are happening.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's absolutely crazy, to say the least. A lot of shops are doing their best to try and just make ends meet right now. Again, I'm super excited that Diamond Comics has finally released comics this week. DC Comics has been going through Lunar and another distributor the last couple weeks, and we were getting DC Comics in there. So it's a slow ramp up, but man, it has been really, really difficult. I can tell you that we opened a Shopify shop on our website, MillGeekComics.com. We still have a lot of great people supporting us on Patreon. So as those comics come in, all of their orders online, we're shipping those comics out. So a lot of the big thing that we had to do was shift from having a storefront to being able to do more of an online thing. And that is absolutely something that shops are going to need to do to adapt to this new landscape. But as for MillGeekComics, we are doing fine. This is one of those things that is just another little bump in the road, but we are going to weather this storm. We're going to come out stronger than ever before. The mail call has been fantastic. All of the supporters on our Patreon have been fantastic. All of the people buying stuff through our website have been absolutely great, and we keep getting new collections and new comics coming in that we're just going to keep growing. So this is not going to slow us down. It's just going to make us stronger in the long run.
Okay, so I know a lot of stores have been going through a new distribution company. Have you done that? What's the experience? Tell me about that.
So, DC Comics has decided to start releasing comics through 2 different distribution companies, and we are going through Lunar Distribution, which I think is a subsidiary of the Discount Comic Book Service. I know there's a lot of people who were online, a lot of shops that don't want to do it. I've even talked to local shops that didn't want to try and do anything outside of Diamond. Lunar has been fantastic. Ordering has been great. Shipping has been great. In 3 weeks, we have had 0 damages. We have had 0 books dropped. We have not had a single problem with any of the things that we've ordered, which is not the case with the other people that I've been ordering comics from for 7 years. So, even if Diamond is shipping comics again now, they could learn a lot from how Lunar does it.
What did they do different, like with their shipping?
Oh my gosh. So, they bubble wrap the comics and put them in a box, and then bubble wrap the box and put it in another box. It's really, honestly, the most white glove shipping I have seen for a distribution company ever. This is the absolute opposite of what happens with Diamond, where they just throw a bunch of comics in a box that don't fit, they're sideways, they're messed up. I generally have 5 to 10% of my comics damaged every week from Diamond because of carelessness. Lunar has not been that same way, and I'm really, really a fan of how they're doing this right now.
I'm seeing a ton of support online, publishers, distributors, even celebrities and people in the comic game. Have you gotten any assistance? What does that actually look like on your end?
So there are a lot of grants and loans out there for small businesses, and they are really, really tough to get. There are grants that we're not eligible for. There are things that dried up before we were able to apply for them. But I can tell you the BINC, the Book Industry Charitable Foundation, has been doing a fantastic job. I've actually been in contact with them over there. And for those of you that haven't been paying attention, this is the one that DC Comics donated a large amount of money, and Jim Lee and his friends have been doing original art auctions on eBay with 95% of the proceeds going to help small shops. So it's been very, very cool that we are actually getting money from them to help us stay around. You know, Jim Lee did some fantastic drawings. There was a Sandman in Death that I really, really liked. Art Adams did an amazing Death that Comic Pops and I were talking about. Bill S. did a great Elektra. I mean, there's really just some gorgeous drawings out there, and they're going for way more money than I could ever afford. So again, thank you very much to BINC and DC Comics and everyone else who donated, because it is really one of the very few places that are helping small shops like ours.
So as you adjust to the new normal as a comic book shop owner, what does that landscape actually look like for you in the future?
Well, it is going to be a long, hard road. Right now, we're getting between 10 and 15% of the comics we were in February, and it looks like even now, we're probably not going to be up at full speed in September. A bunch of comics and a bunch of titles got canceled. So shops need to be able to adapt, and one of the big things that they need to do is move online. If you're not selling on eBay, if you're not willing to ship to your customers, you need to be able to do that. I'm very glad that MillGeekComics is ahead of the curve. I'm glad that we have an online shop. I'm glad that I've been able to do Mail Call with Tom for the last 2 years now, because those have definitely helped the shop remain relevant in this really trying time. But we've also got this fantastic Patreon, so if your shop closes, you can still order from us. We're shipping all across the country to a ton of different people, and they're still getting their comics. So as new comics are trickling in, we have shipments that are ready to go out today for all of the Diamond comics that came out today.
Russ, tell the community how they can make you their comic guy.
So even in these uncertain times, I can get you your comics. MillGeekComics is still shipping every single week, all the comics coming in. Check out our Patreon or give me an email, millgeekcomics@gmail.com, and I will walk you through it. It's $10 a month. It helps cover the shipping, and we will get you your comics. All the ordering is done online, and we'll ship them out to you, no problem.
Ooh, and you ship them in a box?
We do ship them in a box. Way to geek responsibly.
Okay, so this is a true story. About 7 years ago, before I had a YouTube channel, before I was even on Instagram, I had an eBay page, and I was a focused Hellboy collector. I believe I had the largest Mignola collection, non-original art collection, probably in the West Coast. Like, I was aggressive, and Russ and Jeff, they can all vouch for me here. I bought a lot of comic books at that time. I was spending a lot. I worked at the bank, so it was like a stressful job, and I bought Mignola goodness. I had this supplement to a buyer's guide, and it was a Hellboy 2-page spread, and it's like stupid expensive. It's super rare. You can find them online. They go for anywhere between $100 and heck $500 depending on the quality. There's a version of it that's even rarer. That's a conversation for another day. But I had a handful of these, being that I was such an aggressive Hellboy collector, and someone offered a really great price for this collectible, and it sold to them. And that person I knew had to have been a diehard Hellboy collector, because I was the only person in the community really caring about that collectible at that time. And it's really cool. You can check them out online. I'll put a picture up of the collectible I'm talking about. Super scarce, but it's like I said, it's a supplement. It's like a little page that was included in like a catalog. So if you're a Hellboy fan, that's cool, but most people would be like a couple $100. Why would you ever spend money on that? But I knew that this person had to be chill. This person was Javin, Illuminati. This is a horror rapper. And this guy would become my friend over the last like 7+ years. And throughout this time of me going on Instagram and starting the YouTube channel and the show, he has helped with beats. He has helped with, he's actually does the intro music to this show, the Bags and Boards Comic Tom intro. And he's been, he did the branding of the show, the logo on the mystery mail call. He designed that. He's just been a great supporter of what I've done over the years, and we've become really good friends. He's one of my best friends. And he became a comic book writer in the last few years. I'm so proud of this guy. And The Salve is that title. It's a creator-owned title that he put out. He's actually got a Kickstarter right now for issue number 3, and he already funded it in a couple days. Anyways, the print in this video is something that everybody is going to be getting in their mail call. And if you're watching this, those mail calls are already on their way to you because USPS picked them up today. And I was just really proud to be able to put that in the mail call because I actually sit in front of it. Shout out Scorpion Comics, but this comic book right here is a Frazetta homage that I just loved. It's a great cover. And yeah, it's by my homie. So I was really proud to collaborate with him and get some salve in every single mail call this month. So shout out to him. I'm going to put the Kickstarter link to the next issue so you can support this independent comic book writer in the description below, as well as his Instagram at Illuminati. So you can follow this guy because he's onto some really big things. Next thing I wanted to chat about is Artist Piper. Artist Piper has been killing it. And first off, this new variant cover artist coming on the scene in this last year is just so impressive to me. And I'm just so privileged to work with such a cool person. And the fact that I can work with not just Artist Piper, but Scout Comics, an amazing comic book company producing such awesome titles, as well as working with our show since the beginning. The first Comic Tom exclusive ever made was done through Scout Comics. And I'm proud to say that. And I'm also proud to say that I was able to collaborate with James Hake III, the creator of The Mall, which I'm going to be doing a giveaway of this, as well as the salve today. So comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video, and I'll enter you to win both of these comic books. I was able to collaborate with both of these creators this month during full shutdown. No comics going out. The shop is literally closed. And I was able to team up with this artist who produced this amazing cover, this amazing variant to Long Live Pro Wrestling that everybody got in their mystery mail call this past month, during a time where there was no comics going out. We got it. That art was created in days. Artist Piper was like, oh, you want to do a comic book for the community right now? Absolutely. I'll get it done right now. And she started, and she just did it. And I'm so grateful, and the community's so grateful. You got to follow this artist, new on the scene. And really, what's really cool is I'm going to put some pictures up. She's a tattoo artist. Like, she's been doing tattoos for years. Check out this shop. It's gorgeous. But take a look at this picture. These are the covers that she's produced in the last year or so. And it's like, actually, it's even sooner. It's like within the last 8 months, I believe. And it's just such a cool thing to see someone come from like a different profession into our community and be welcomed with open arms. And now this person, Artist Piper, is not going to just be known as a killer tattoo artist. Heck, She's a comic book artist. James Hake, thanks so much for all the support to make everything happen, to support. Your support has gone so far, and community here can go benefit from a 10% off code on scoutcomics.com on any of your purchasing. Because of our relationship that we have, they're not a sponsor. I don't get a dime from you buying from Scout Comics. This is just an awesome thing that I can provide the community because they support what we do here. They support the comic book community. They respect the collectors community. And you know that gets my respect too. I want to remind everybody, if you liked what you saw, like this mystery mail call, The Assembly, let me know in the comment section. I'll do it next month. Maybe we can do some more stuff. I can ask more questions, film some more fun things. And if you want to join this community, we are currently taking enrollment for next month, June's Mystery Mail Call, where everyone will be getting a copy of the exclusive of Headless by Scout Comics of Peach Momoko, the Comic Tom exclusive. And it is so gorgeous. Look at all these like blood spots. The one thing she wanted to know was like placement. And she wanted to know also like which characters and like what they're holding. And I'm like, oh, everything you're doing is perfect, Peach. I just want this color work. I just go crazy with the color work. And she's like, do you want fire or do you want blood? And I'm like, oh, Peach, blood. Just blood it up. And she did it. She brought the heat. And if you want to get this comic, link in the description to join the community. We do a bunch of different variants. This particular variant is a mystery mail call exclusive. This one you can only get in our box. It's not going to be sold anywhere else. Also, I want to shout out Artist Piper, who's providing a print for next month. Take a look at this Delirium print. If you're a fan of Sandman, you're going to, like, all Sandman fans are rejoicing seeing this image. And if you're not a Sandman fan yet, you need to go read Sandman. Like that, just go make that happen. Shout out to the community. Thank you so much for like your support, for giving us, honestly, your business during a time where the shop is literally closed. Like, I can tell you that Russ was so grateful. I am so grateful. Jeff is so grateful. Like, you're supporting all of us by supporting us throughout the mail call and watching our stuff, liking the videos, just being subscribed. You are supporting what we do, and I appreciate all of you. Have a great one, comic fam. Comment down below to enter to win these giveaways. And as always, geek responsibly.